always have multiple things to do. Okay, hello. Always interesting for playback later, as I just mess around with my settings. Because for some reason the default is that I don't get to see all my messages, which is ridiculous. Or all the chat, which is ridiculous. But, it's fine. It is what it is, right? See if people show up. I don't know. I haven't done a live in a while. I'm just kind of winging it, generally speaking. Hello. I'm just sort of hanging out at the moment. Waiting for people to show up. If they show up, who knows? Oh, hi. Hi, Pablo. Hi. It's been a minute since I've done a live, but I thought I would just do one. You know? You only live once. Hello, hello. I'm good. How are you? I mean, I'm tired. I was traveling a bunch over the last little bit, so I'm tired from that. But I'm back home now, and a little bit rested. As rested as I can be, I guess. I like to stay busy, so I don't tend to rest in the same way that other people do. I'm also just like casually crocheting if you see me like looking down. I'm not just like, I don't know, being shy and retiring or whatever. I'm just like looking at my stitches. As something to keep me busy. Hello there. Continue the Kenobi references. I was tempted to use that again for the title. But I decided I should be at least slightly creative in my titling a little bit, so that at least I can tell them apart. Chat took forever to load. Weird. Don't know why that is. But, you know, YouTube do be YouTubing sometimes. It's not a reference, it's who I am. I get it. I feel like we have to make the Obi-Wan Kenobi reference. It's not a proper live stream chat without it, you know? Hello, everyone. Hi. How is everyone? I feel like things have been wild. Anyone else feel that? I just feel like there's like a lot going on. And maybe that's just the way of the world now. I feel like there's always just a bunch of stuff happening that I'm like, whew, you know? But I feel like the last little bit, there's just a lot, you know? And I hope everyone's taking care of themselves, you know, especially since we're getting into the season where people get sick a lot easier, and anyone who doesn't do well with seasons changing, if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, and holidays, I know it's getting to like that weird time of year where it can be a bit tricky, so I hope everyone's doing good, you know, taking care of yourself, doing things that make you happy. Mild heat wave. Yeah, I know. We've had some record high temperatures where I am too, and I'm like, no, I got ready for fall. We were in peak fall chill temperatures, and I was all ready. I was like gonna dust off all of my sweaters, take them out of storage. I mean, I'm just I need it. I need it to be autumn, you know? Do I know something we don't know? I mean, probably. I probably know a few things that you don't know, but you'll have to be more specific about what you're looking for. Oh, you're not used to the autumn weather yet? Were you somewhere where you didn't have autumn? That feels like such a weird, that's such a strange concept to me, I guess, because I'm in Canada and therefore it's just it's cold for like half the year. That's just what it's like. Ooh. I guess yeah, like how I think it got to like 24 Celsius, 25 maybe where I am today, and I was like, that isn't September. Leave me alone. Um, Toxic Love, I used to live in a tropical country and now I'm in America. Ooh. So yeah, you wouldn't quite be used to it yet, I guess. I see lots of people in like Canada right now who have like coats and stuff, and I'm like, it's 15 degrees. Like, why do you have a coat? And then I'm like, oh, we are probably from somewhere where that's chilly. And that's okay. You know, do what makes you comfortable, right? I mentioned for people to take care of their health, just in general. I'm just like, it's that season where people get sick with school coming back. Kids are little petri dishes, so and at least where I am in the northern hemisphere, when it gets like cooler, people just get sick. So I'm like, just take care of yourself, and like seasonal stuff. So not everyone does well in like the winter and with the holidays at the end of the year. So I just want people to take care of themselves. You need the cold to survive. Same. I can't do it. I used to live in a colder climate and then I moved farther south now where I live, and it's just like slightly warmer and I'm like, what is this? What's going on? I don't like it. Yeah, seasonal depression stuff. I just want to make sure everyone's all good. You know? Mine comes in the spring and summer, which I feel like probably isn't seasonal. I think it's just that I've had a lot of stuff happen in the spring and summer, so there's like not some great stuff associated with that. Whereas like autumn and winter, one, my favorite seasons, and two, I just thrive in those seasons. So I crave the cold and the dark, uh, in a way that I cannot fully describe to other people. You either get it or you don't. Oh, your coworkers made fun of you for wearing a coat. I mean, do what makes you comfortable, right? Like, do what works for you. I get it, you know? I mean, I know that Canadians are said to be like a little bit crazy because it'll be like minus temperatures and they're just walking around in like shorts and a t-shirt. You'll always find one. It'll be like a literal snowstorm and there'll be some guy walking around in shorts and a t-shirt somewhere in every Canadian city. I don't know why, but it's guaranteed 100% accuracy on that one. A true antisocial introvert. Look, I like when it's like cold because I have an excuse to not go outside, right? Like in the summer when it's nice and it's warm, I'm like, people want me to go out and do things. And I'm like, no, no, I want to stay home and I want to read books and I want to be cozy and not have to like be out doing things. Like if I want to hang out with people, I'm like, we can hang out at like your place or my place and like watch a movie. And they're like, no, it's like nice out. Let's like go do stuff. I'm like, that sounds exhausting. Whereas like in the winter, they're like, yeah, let's just stay in and watch a movie. I'm like, that's what I want. You shovel snow in a t-shirt, but no one gives you weird looks since you moved further north. Yeah, I'm like, there's always I feel like every time there's a snowstorm, I'm gonna find somebody who's just like walking around in a t-shirt. Um, It's the way that it works, I guess. There has to be one. You're gonna watch horror stuff and drink warm beverages? Yeah. I mean, I don't like scary stuff very well. I'm jumpy. Um, I jump scare really easily, so I feel like I avoid it a lot because I'm like, I know I'm gonna be like the whole time. Um, so I like some of them. I like some of them that lean into some of like the absurdity of scary stuff. And how it's like it's kind of ridiculous, right? Like you know the videos that are like music means everything and they'll like take something that's supposed to be scary, but they'll like change the music so that it's not scary anymore. It's got like goofy like comedy music on it. And I'm like, yeah, without the music it's not as intimidating. Oh, you have to cover your ears to watch horror movies? Because yeah, like there's jump scares and like the music cues like get me. Like the music will like even in like action movies or like thrillers, the music will like boom and I'm like like it's not even supposed to be scary, it's just like sudden noise and my brain's just like, no, no. Oh, you downloaded a bunch of horror games? That I couldn't do. It's too like immersive as well. Like especially if it's like first person, like POV, I'm just like, no, don't do that to me. Do Canadians like maple syrup? In general, yes. I feel like most Canadians would never admit that they don't if they actually don't. Um, but in general, yes. It's the season for it because it's warm during the day and then it gets colder at night, which is how the syrup like moves through the trees in the right way. So, 'tis maple syrup season. You're a very stoic person. I am not, I guess. I don't know. I'm very jumpy in general. For a myriad of reasons. So I just can't do it. I also can't do anything that has like hauntings. There's just something about ghosts that like freaks me out. Like I'm just like I can't don't mess with it, right? Like I don't know whether or not I believe in ghosts, but my personal preference is just leave it alone. And then it's fine, right? Don't mess with it. You feel like you're a dummy just closing her eyes for horror things, but still have fun consuming it. I don't know. I think it depends. I think I've gotten better at it. As like a kid, I was like, no, nothing, don't want to be near it. Everything scares me. I don't want to be part of it. Whereas now I'm like a little bit more like there's definitely stuff that I've watched where like I didn't know that it was going to be like a scary movie going into it, but then having seen it, I'm like, oh, that wasn't like that bad. Um so I'm probably like less of a chicken than I give myself credit for, but I'm just like, no, thank you. In general, no, thank you. Um, I don't know. I think like it's between like the jump scares and like people doing stuff that I'm like, that's dumb. And I'm just like, why? Why? You know? I like mysteries though. I like puzzles. So if I can get something that has that vibe in it, if there's like a thing for me to solve and it happens to also be scary, then I'm into it. Hello from Utah. Hi. We're hanging out. I was like doing some stuff, but I got distracted. Which seems to be normal. You know, I always start being like, I might multitask during the stream. And then I get asked a question, I'm just like, ooh, let me give all my attention to this thing as I go on a whole speech about it. Aw, thank you, Toxic Love, which feels like a weird thing to say with the username. But thank you for saying how much you enjoy the content that I make. I appreciate it. I've had people say such sweet things to me in the last few days about enjoying my content, and that just like makes me like not really know how to take it, but I'll take it, I guess. Oh yeah, because you're from Utah. You're on the your Patreon as well. So you have seen the stuff I posted a bunch of stuff to Patreon today. So um why are we talking about scary movies? We were talking about being excited about autumn and winter and like being able to be cozy and some of our plans for that. And one of them was getting to watch scary movies. Um and I said I'm not a scary movies. I'll watch a good rom-com though. Give me a cozy rom-com and I'm there, right? Love those. That's like kind of where I'm at when it comes to spook season. I tend to be more like on that side of it. I like the cozy vibes. I like the mysteries, right? But not so much the scary stuff. But I did ask for some recommendations for stuff to maybe post to the channel. So maybe I'll just have to like suck it up and watch some stuff that's gonna scare me for the sake of the content. Because I'm sure it would be entertaining. I'm sure that me watching stuff that scares me would be entertaining in its own way. But I don't know how I would do. You know, I think I would just be too paranoid afterwards. Like you can't put ideas in my head because I fixate, right? So if you tell me that something awful could happen, my brain's gonna hold on to that and it's gonna keep thinking about it. And I'm like, it was fictional, it was a movie, and my brain's gonna be like, yeah, but now it's an idea, and it's an idea we're gonna hold on to. So, I don't think it's good for me to be a consumer of scary content for how my brain works. But cozy is great. I'm like, let's just put in the cozy, wonderful vibes, and that's like, I can think about that all the time. I can fixate on that. It's fine. So, I think it just depends. I have been though, because we're getting into cozy season and stuff. I've been thinking a lot more about as I lose my connection for a little bit. Look, I may or may not get isekai'd. We don't know. It depends on what happens. Lives are always a bit there's always that tension there, right? But yeah, I've been getting like lots of recommendations about like gaming stuff and like gaming content, and I'm just like, I want it. I want it, even though I know it's also bad for me because I hyperfixate and I spend like 100 hours on a single game. Like it becomes my entire existence. So not the best, but the problem with today's scary movies is that most of them are slashers, gore movies. They aren't like good scary. I get that too. Like I get that a lot of it is the like slasher part of it and less about like deconstructing psychological things. Like I think that that's the part that I like the most is when someone takes like a fear or like an innate instinct that humans have and they like personify it in the form of like some kind of like monster or adversary, and part of facing that is just like the externalization of that like internal thing, right? I find that far more entertaining than I think. I mean, behind me, because I redecorate a little bit. I don't know if you can see it, but I have like Frankenstein and stuff. I love Frankenstein. It's a great novel. And part of it is just because it's like, it's scary in a completely different way from like violence necessarily. It's like about deconstructing like internal struggles and moral ambiguity in humans. So perhaps you should watch something more adventure, high anxiety. I don't know, I have high anxiety already. I lived that, so I liked The Quiet Place. I know that The Quiet Place, I understand like the basic concept, but again, I get jump scared. So I don't know if that would be a good one, right? Because like the whole point is trying to stay quiet, and I feel like the moment that there was like a sound, my brain would just be like, no. You think Scream is a really good series? Yeah. I don't know, Scream is one of those ones that I've heard lots about, but I don't know anything about it. Oddly. Like, I know it's one of those movies. I recognize the mask. Um, but I've never had anyone just tell me what the movie is about. Like, I feel like they just assume that I knew. It's like The Shining. I didn't know anything about The Shining. I have never seen the film. I read the book, and I didn't know anything about it going into it because no one's like sat down and been like, "Hey, here's like the basic plot of The Shining." Because I feel like it's just one of those movies that people are like, "You know, right? Like you know, it's so popular." I'm like, "No, no, I don't. Assume I know nothing." Vivian Dreamcatcher concert? No. I don't know what that question is connected to. No, in that I'm not going to one. Uh, Possibly in terms of watching videos of stuff. I mean, I've been seeing videos of them touring right now. It's like showing up on all of my my social media. And I keep watching. I keep engaging, so it keeps showing me more. There was a stream a while ago where you recommended me an alternative version of Dracula. Probably. I have Dracula behind me too. I think. Yeah, I have my copy of Dracula behind me. Um, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but there's some good ones. Ooh, there's like one that's maybe like it's like a sequel. It's a bit more like modernized. I remember reading one of those. Um, so Dracula's good too. It's a bit weird in terms of like the novel form, but the like core story is good. And it has one of my favorite female characters in literature. So, Netflix has. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that because it's Korean. In Sweet Home, so K horror TV series. Okay, I don't have Netflix though, cause corporations. I love a good monster movie. Same. Slashers are fine, but normally don't have good plots and no one's like or dumb protagonists. Yeah. Uh, Agreed. I like a good monster, like in any way, and I feel like that's just like the personification I was talking about. Like if you externalize an internal like innate fear that humans have, um, then you externalize it into like a monster. I just find it fascinating of like how do you defeat something that is like actually an internal problem. Um, I came here because you were doing reactions to Bleach anime. Cool. There will be more Bleach anime. Um, in a little bit because it's coming out in October. The next season. The Dracula version was from the perspective of a woman. Um, and the portions were told through found notes. I mean, that's just Dracula, like the book. A lot of it is told from um uh Nina Harker. Um, and a bunch of it's like diaries, um, random notes, cutouts from newspapers. Like it's all um like found documents from a bunch of different people, and Nina Harker is like one of the main people that figures all of the stuff out, and the other girl that like the psychologist guy is in love with. I don't remember her name. Look, Nina's my favorite, so I remember about her. You read a very different version of Dracula then? I mean, that's the version of it. Hang on. Like, Yeah, like you have like, I don't know, like diary entries, and then you have like letters, and that's the book. It's all um journals. And that's like the whole premise of the book is it's random notes and diaries and letters and newspaper clippings that have been like found and put together into this novel. So, which makes it a bit hard to read, honestly. So it kind of sucks that the format of it, like even like it has like the older language style in terms of it being like Victorian literature, but then it's also in this like weird, almost like found footage version of telling the story as well. So it's a bit weird. There's like inconsistencies with the narrators and stuff. Like people remember stuff differently, so there's like weird disconnects between the narrative. But that's Dracula, which I've read a few times, so it is good though. Like if you can get through that, if that doesn't bother you, then like the core story is really cool. But it is like a bit of a hard sell in terms of narrative. But yeah, I don't know. I know like I guess scary books I know better, but not like a lot of contemporary ones. I know like older books. Bad Dracula pun. There's a Dracula with Keanu Reeves? That's pretty cool. There's a Keanu Reeves novel that's coming out, and I think he's co-writing it with China Miéville, which is like one of the most unhinged things I've ever heard. Like I need to read it just because I feel like it is an experience that I will never get in any other way. Like I can't even fathom what that story is going to be like. That I feel like I need to just like immerse myself in it and experience it for what it is, because otherwise I'm like, what, huh? But I don't know when that's coming out. At some point, I suppose. I have enough books though. I have probably too many. Like one may say it is an issue. But you know, to each their own. It could be worse. It could be something bad. So puns are an art form. I mean, I like a good pun. I like a good dad joke. I'm here for it. I don't have highbrow humor. There's no such thing as too many books. I agree. There is, however, such thing as too little shelf room. So that is my current issue. I saw the title and read about the book before I found out Keanu was the co-author, and honestly, it sounds intriguing. I mean, if you're talking about the one with China Miéville, I'm like, it has to be intriguing. Because Miéville has never written a book that didn't make me go, what? Like, his writing is so strange and an acquired taste, to say the least. That I'm like, it has to be bonkers. So I need to experience it. I feel like that you have to. I have to figure out what the book is and get it. Dad jokes and puns are like 50% of my humor. I get it. I'm always making jokes and then I'm just like, hey. So I always know that's coming. Then I just like look at my brother. I'm like, and he's always disappointed in me. Yes, too little room and not enough time to read. Alas. Yeah, I know that there's a video of Zio and her dad puns that I'm like, I gotta come back to that at some point. There are a lot of those fun videos I have to catch up on though. I'm getting there, okay? I'm almost done catching up on Dreamcatcher's music. So I'll be able to like get into more of their like fun videos and like other content stuff that they've done because I won't be trying to get music done. But yeah, you have to use the finger guns. How will they know that I've told a really good joke if I don't have the finger guns included? Too many videos, not enough time. I know. There's so much. I mean, there's so much just with one group, and then you add in others, and I'm like, I'm overwhelmed. And it's just like music, right? Like there are so many other like anime that I also want to watch, and comics that I want to read, and so many like other things that I'm like, that'd be a cool thing to do on the channel, and I'm like, I don't have time. So I just do what I can and make as much as I can when I can and take a breather. I mean, I have like this one chunk of hair that's just like doesn't know where it wants to be, but there's gonna be a bunch of more videos coming up soon because I'm gonna do spook season stuff in October, and then I'm gonna do holiday stuff in December again. So there's gonna be a bunch of stuff coming up soon that is part of the reason I'm trying to like record a bunch of stuff because I want to make sure that I have time to do like extra fun stuff. Oh, bye from Utah. Bye. I'll probably see you on Patreon. Uncooperative hair is relatable. I know. It's because I braided it like 12 hours ago. So this is like all day of me doing stuff that my hair is just like, no. Especially with the humidity. My hair's just like, you're asking too much of us at this point. So it's fine. It is what it is. But yeah, anyway, there's lots of stuff coming to the channel, which is exciting. I have to like look back at the post that I did that was asking for spook season recommendations, because I'm gonna have to go through it soon with like Patreons and stuff. I know that there's Time to Twice ones that people want me to check out. I think there's like they go through like kind of like a horror like haunted house thing. Some people want me to do like a list or like talk about like my favorite horror like movies, anime, stuff like that. I know that there's, I think Dreamcatcher Mind has like I've seen some clips of them going through like a haunted house or whatever. Yeah, there's the Boca Zombie version, which I haven't checked out yet because I want to check out the dance practice first. And I just haven't done that yet because I've been traveling. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And then I was like, oh no, I have to like sit down and like pack and finish organizing. And then I was gone for a while. So I haven't done it yet, but I will. So there's that as well. I know there's some other stuff that people have asked me about that's like other groups that I haven't gotten into yet, like Purple Kiss, Idol, G Idol. I've seen it pronounced both ways, so I don't know. I feel like there was one where it was like there's a group where someone was like their aesthetic is very spooky season So you should do that group. Some webtoons as well. Variety of things. I have some ideas as well, so we'll see how it all comes together. Yes, Dreamcatcher Mind. I've been wanting to get into it for so long, but I've also been like, I want to get through albums and music because I know sometimes they use the music and stuff in it as well, and I don't know. I was trying to like focus in on music stuff. I kind of like deviated with Time to Twice with Twice music because I was like, there's so much music, I'm not going to catch up in time for me to like not be able to watch this. And it was like a holiday thing that I kind of like started with. So, Dreamcatcher Mind, I was kind of like, I'm gonna just leave it for a little bit, catch up on some music, but I'll probably end up doing it for spook season. Hello. Hi, welcome to the live stream. Latecomer. Purple Kiss fandom and Somnia's seem to overlap. Interesting. I know that there's some overlap with other groups. I saw that there was a video recently on Insomniac. See, I'm gonna pronounce her channel name wrong, and I always feel bad. But it was about Day 6, and I'm like, because I know that there are members of Dreamcatcher that love Day 6, and I'm like, I love Day 6, and I'm excited that there's like a whole video that's just about like them fangirling, because I'm like, same, me too. But I have to catch up on Day 6's like most recent comeback. I haven't listened to it yet. Rolling Quartz, that's another one that people have asked me to check out for a while, and I saw they did a cover of Good Night, so I have to check them out at some point. They're on my list. I don't know if it'll happen soon, because again, I'm doing stuff that's like, if I let myself start new groups and be a little bit unhinged, it's because it's on theme. So when spook season happens, I'm like, we can just start groups. We can just do whatever we want. No schedule, no pressure on me to like put a whole list together. Like I have a whole like document that I have like every single thing that like Dreamcatcher has ever released on it. And it's like a checklist, and I'm just like checking through stuff as I go. So I don't need to do that when I'm just like doing stuff that's like, we're gonna do spook season stuff, and then we're gonna do holiday, wintry stuff, and I just kind of let myself do whatever I want during that because no rules. I just let the restraints off, and I'm like, this is what would happen if I didn't stop myself and have like an actual outline of the stuff that I was doing. I just kind of let myself flit wherever I want, because we're neurodivergent up in here, so I'm like, we gotta have boundaries every other month of the year. But I'm gonna give myself a couple where I'm just like, let yourself go. Ooh. See, that's what happens. I gotta control. I gotta rein myself in. Okay. No rules during spook season. Yeah, no rules. No rules in spook season because it's supposed to be a little bit unhinged, and no rules in December because it's a gift to myself that I just let myself do whatever I want, whatever makes me happy. Hello there. Are you happy that Shioda's back from hiatus? Yes! Every time I get a little video that's them like performing and I see her, I'm just like, oh, there's our girl. Except when they're dancing to Two Rings. And we've seen now what the choreo is supposed to be, and I'm like, I beg your pardon? I'm sorry? Who told you that you were allowed to do that? Right? Like, because unacceptable behavior, especially in those outfits. I've watched it a few times though. Saved. I don't know what you're talking about. Judgment free zone. Yeah, we're going crazy for spook season. Why not, right? You gotta. If you're gonna go crazy for any season, it should be that one, right? Hello. Andre? Hi, I'm good. I'm tired. I've been traveling for a bit. So I'm kind of coming back from a bit of a whirlwind time. But I recorded a few videos today, so I'm kind of in like YouTube mode. So I thought I might as well do a live stream. I haven't done one in a while. And I'm already like warmed up, I guess, being on camera. That I'm not through like the awkward phase of me being like, I don't know how to be on camera anymore. You really, really need Fireflies sang together. Have they not done it yet? Live? I don't know. I haven't seen anything about Fireflies. Oh yeah, no, I guess with the harmonies and stuff live, it would be a little bit more complicated, wouldn't it? There are certain songs that are just kind of like more difficult live. Like recording, you can record like multiple tracks and like figure out the mixing. But live, I feel like with all the harmonies and stuff, it would take a lot of a lot of rehearsal to make that happen. Oh, and Dami's sick. I didn't know that. I didn't know that she was sick right now. Poor thing. See, everybody, when I said take care of yourself at the beginning of the stream, this is why. But I hope that she does okay. I hope that she's not pushing herself too much. Okay, she's not in the world tour in Latin America. Okay. I didn't know that. I guess I haven't seen anything that was like, look, in my defense, I get a lot of Dami edits on my feed. For mysterious reasons. I don't know. I don't know how that happened, but I do. So there's a chance that I just didn't connect that I wasn't getting any recent videos with Dami. Because I get quite a few videos of her. Mysteriously. I don't know how they got there. So yeah, I mean, I cry during Fireflies anyway. When any of them are singing. That whole song just like rips my heart out. I also had it because, okay, so today I did Dystopia Lose Myself. I listened to that today and recorded my reaction to it. And I cried during that too. And part of it was because of Dami's vocals. They're just so sweet in like complete contrast to what she is when she goes like rapper mode. That I'm just like, I'm always like taken aback a little bit. But I mean, maybe it's just my bias coming through, you know? Maybe I'm willing to believe that it's just me. For whatever reason. Yeah. I mysteriously get lots of videos of Dami. I mysteriously get lots of videos of Yuhyun as well. I don't know how that happened. I don't know why that would be there. No clue. Definitely don't get any videos of Jio at any point. No, especially not in this comeback. Definitely don't get a bunch of her with, I don't know what it is about this haircut that she has with the current comeback. Because I don't see videos about it. I don't see anything about it, so it's fine. I'm not saying that the algorithms have figured out how to keep me on their platform. But it may or may not. It may or may not be Dreamcatcher edits. No, I don't have any Suwa fan cams. I definitely don't have any of her with the Two Rings performances. I definitely do not get sent clips of her dancing around Xian in my Discord. Definitely not. Not at all. I don't get anything. And they never send me anything on Discord that is fan cams or live moments of Suwa or any of the members whatsoever. People don't come for me there at all. It's fine. Hello, Tiffany. Hi. Yes, the algorithm probably knows more about me than I'm comfortable with. And whichever poor underpaid intern is like going through content is probably like, girl. I mean, Sua taking off any, I don't know anything about that. No. Mm-mm. I have no knowledge of that particular clip that you speak of. No idea. Come on, those. I've seen a lot of the fan cams. I've seen a lot of live vids. Take my glasses off. Why? I already did. I already knocked them off at some point. I can't read chat. Yeah, I have no clue about a raincoat. No idea. Absolutely no idea about that. Know nothing of a raincoat. Um, plead the fifth. Yeah. Um, have no knowledge of that. Um, it's fine. You know, just like I have no knowledge of Xian with like the red hair, like the shorter cut, wearing like the suit. No knowledge of that. Um, absolutely do not have every single picture of that look saved in a folder. None at all. I most certainly do not have a Dreamcatcher photo, like folder of photos of Dreamcatcher that would have been a queer awakening had I not already known that about myself. No idea at all. Yeah, Dreamcatcher definitely knows how to get. They know their audience. They know their fandom. Like, what was that clip of Geo where someone said like, "How do you feel about your fan your fandom being like mostly women?" And she said something about like really liking it and thinking it was great. And I'm just like, ma'am, we're already here. We already know. Calm down. Have you seen any of the no dot era? I have not seen where they're all on stage. I have seen a live performance of just Sua doing it though. Um, on my Patreon. So, because I have live performances all of their solos from that album on Patreon. You sound like me when I'm talking about Bleach with my friends. I mean, I have Bleach moments too. I have moments like there's moments where I'm like, I could do Bleach cosplay, right? I could have a moment. I mean, I most certainly do not have a bunch of pictures saved of Bleach characters or art from the manga. Absolutely not. Nor do I take any kind of like fashion inspiration from those drawings. Not at all. You can send me a video of them all doing it. I've heard a warning about it. I know that I should check out all of them doing no dot. However, at this moment, I have chosen life. I have chosen my good health. But it'll probably happen at some point. Tommy was unhinged? That makes me nervous. What were the rest of them like? No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I know what they're like on stage. Okay? They can't even behave for Silent Night. So I don't trust them to do no dot of all of the of all of the songs that they have. So I just have to watch it. I feel like I have to at some point. At some point the curiosity will be too much for me. And I'll have to do it. But yeah, Kubo's art is so good. It's so good. And it makes me angry every time I see a piece of Bleach like apparel, and it is the tackiest thing I've ever seen. And I'm just like, Kubo did not make his characters absolute fashion icons for you to disrespect him like this. Like I need somebody on that team who can like legitimately design apparel that is like fashion inspired by the Bleach characters, because at this point it's like it's making me lose my will to even contemplate getting something related to Bleach that is like apparel. I'm just gonna have to like make my own, because I'm like, y'all obviously don't know what you're doing. Dami started? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I feel like she had one of her moments, you know, where like the quiet introvert just like becomes unhinged. You know, it's a lot with Handong's mother to say something. Oh no. I I don't want to know. I've seen some of their clips on stage where they don't have choreo and they just like lets them do whatever they want. And boy, do they do whatever they want. Especially Yuhyun. I feel like she's always doing something or saying something, and I'm like, girl, you have the power to speak English. I would like you to use it responsibly. Because some of the things that comes out of that woman's mouth when she's touring, I'm just like, oh, okay, fine. Anime merch is always disappointing. Well, sometimes I have like the best Totoro sweater ever, and I love it to bits. And I'm like, I need this for every single anime thing that I love, all of them. And I feel like at some point I'm just gonna have to make it. I'm just gonna have to design it myself because no one else cares enough to do it the right way. Which is it. Like, great. It's always just like a like drop shipping thing of they just like iron on the logo of the show onto like a sweater. And I'm like, no, I want like an actual thought out design that is related to the character. Like something that's like casual cosplay of that character, and like you wouldn't know the reference unless you know the reference, right? That's what I want. I want it with K-pop too, though. I have designs in my head of stuff that's like more low-key K-pop related stuff that's like apparel, and it's like you only, if you get the joke, you understand the joke, but otherwise, get out. Yeah, Yukon's always like, she's like all shy sometimes, and then she just like gets unhinged. And she'll just say something, and I'm like, girl, idol, contain yourself. What are my thoughts on NewJeans? Ooh, I have so many. I have so many. I mean, mostly like what I posted my most recent reaction for them, and I just like put a comment. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be taking a break. So I'm taking a break from watching this stuff because it just feels weird to be like watching their stuff and knowing how they're feeling, right? Like watching past stuff where they're happy and having a good time, and it feels weird knowing that that's like not where they're at right now. I guess like before, like without getting into like the weeds of because there's so much going on with it, right? There's so much going on with NewJeans right now. It's like months and months of stuff piling up. And not all of it is like about them. They've just kind of been like caught in the crossfire. But I think my main thing is that I think the live stream was a bad idea. And not because I don't think that they should be allowed to talk about how they're feeling or what they're going through. And if there is mistreatment happening, 100%, they should be allowed to talk about it. Right? Like I don't want them to feel like they cannot be heard. And I know that part of what they were talking about in that is the fact that they were not being listened to. So I don't want to sit here and say like they should not be able to speak up, because I do feel like this came from a place of like desperation of them being like, we're not being listened to and we don't know what else to do because we're like freaking out about all the stuff is happening kind of around them without their input. And I know that that can be super scary and destabilizing, right? Um, but the video, doing the live stream is a bad idea. And I think part of that is like legally, like anything you do and say can be used against you, and there is legal stuff happening, right? That I just think that the less they say, the better, because it is going to be used. It is going to be filed in some way, right? That I just think it's probably better to not say anything, just for like them, like so they don't get pulled in to more like legal stuff that they're not actually attached to. And I also think that's a bad idea because HYBE has proven in recent history that they are willing to exploit minor loopholes in contracts to get rid of people that they don't want around anymore. And I just think that they're just kind of giving them that in to either get rid of their contracts, put them in the basement, or change the contracts in some way, right? Like they're giving them a opportunity to do that. And I think that that's a really bad idea. So that's kind of like my basic thoughts about it. I have lots of other ones that kind of go into like the more, I've been keeping up with it, you know, for a while. I love digging through legal documents and stuff. So I've been following it for a while from just like that standpoint. But I think that when it was just like Minheejin, Adore, HYBE, watching that kind of back and forth, I'm like, well, I don't like either of you. So I can kind of sit here as an observer and look at what's happening and have my own thoughts and feelings about it. And hope for the best for NewJeans caught in the crossfire and that they do okay. But now that it feels like NewJeans is like embedded in it now, that's where I feel more conflicted about it, because I do care about them, and it feels weird now. It feels personal, and I feel like I just needed to like take a break from watching their stuff, because I'm like, I don't know how to watch you be happy knowing that you're not happy right now. Right? Like I don't know how to enjoy your stuff when I know that there's all this other stuff going on. So I'm just kind of like, I'm seeing what's gonna happen. You know, I'm keeping up with it. I'm looking into like the updates that we're getting. But I just like, I can't watch them be happy knowing that they're not happy anymore. So yeah, it could be the end of NewJeans. Honestly, like I don't know. I think it's going to become a matter of, are they more of a liability than an asset? Because at the end of the day, HYBE is a business, and that's what they're going to make the decision on. So it makes me very, very nervous for them, because I think it's an opening that HYBE needed if they wanted to get rid of them. I think this is the opening that they would need, and I don't know. I'm just kind of like holding my breath and seeing what happens. So, I mean, I don't think HYBE's gonna reinstate Minheejin. I think that that's not even part of the question. Like, it's not gonna happen. So, K-pop contracts and all the legal stuff are interesting to me. Same. Yeah, all the different groups, all the different contracts. I think it's really interesting. We're not going to know all the details though, right? Because like they're not going to show us the contracts for legal reasons. So we won't know like all the ins and outs, but it's complicated, right? Yes, NewJeans are still very young, though only one of them is a minor, right? I think they're all like legally adults now, which is like another layer to it. Yeah, Heian is still a minor. All the rest of them are not, which means that if they do get pulled into legal something, they are adults legally. So that's also scary. Hi, Mike. Hi. We're talking about scary legal things. With like also like I guess like the caveat of like I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a legal professional, so like I just like legal things. Um, but hey, Charlie Puth got married today. Okay. uh, yeah, but still too young to be pulled into it. I mean, like, NewJeans are too young in terms of like, I don't know, they're still young, but they're not too young. It's like a weird in between of like me being like they're young in terms of like they don't have a ton of experience, and this is a weird situation for anyone, let alone someone who has only been in the like industry like debuted for like the last couple of years, and have only been like adults for the last like little bit. Like, it's a weird situation for even like the most seasoned K-pop idols to be going through. Um, let alone someone who's like super young and like just doesn't have the foundation of like a seasoned group that they're young, but they're like not too young. Like they are like legal adults. And that means that the law is going to treat them differently, and it means that the things that they do and say can't be used against them. I mean, that's part of the thing too. Like they've said some very plain things about HYBE, and HYBE is not afraid of a defamation suit. So I'm just like, careful, careful. It's better to not. It's better to just like not say anything. Yeah, it's better to just be quiet. You're completely lost, but this is not my world. But I like this. I like listening to legal drama too, but I like when it's not about young people that are like part of it. Like it feels weird now. When it was just like corporations being mad and petty about each other, I was like, I'm here for the drama because you're both awful. But now that NewJeans is part of it, I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Um, would I like a conspiracy theory? No. In general, I like facts. Um, this can still be salvaged, but it depends on how important the NewJeans IP is to HYBE. Yeah, I mean, it's never going to be the same though. You know, like this is always going to be part of NewJeans' story, and I think that that is very much going. Like I feel like it has already impacted them in terms of their trajectory. I think it's always going to affect them in terms of anyone engaging with their music and their content, and I think it's going to always affect the way that HYBE engages with them, right? And other people in the company. Like it's they're not going to be able to promote things in the same way. Like I said way before, I was like, it doesn't matter how this like legal between it is HYBE and Minheejin. I was like, it doesn't matter how this like legally turns out because if they stick around, HYBE, because of the accusations that they have made, are not going to want any of their other groups anywhere near NewJeans and Adore. Like they're not going to want any of them near them because they don't want any kind of information being shared between them. So I think it's always going to be rocky. Like I think that the trust is just gone on both sides. So more Twice content coming soon. Yes, I recorded the first part of my reaction to Twicetagram today. Blew my mind. I think I have a new favorite song. So that's coming. I know that there's a Misamo comeback happening. I don't know about that one because Japanese, and I still have to check out their previous comeback. I have to get to Tsui's solo stuff as well, but I also have Nayeon's birthday coming up. So there's gonna be like some Nayeon Tsui stuff coming up soon. For that. So yes, today is Mink's anniversary, I guess. I mean they've gone on to do other things. But yes, it is. I saw that there was a anniversary video edit that was posted, and I was like, it's not Dreamcatcher's anniversary. And then I was like, oh right, right. Thanks. Um, have I watched Suits? No. Yeah, even if they're no longer with HYBE, it's gonna be very difficult for them to sign with another label if that's their end goal. Yeah. I mean, reputation wise, who's gonna want to take on that, like from a PR standpoint? Two non-competes, so there's a chance that they have one of those in their contracts, which means that they're probably not going to be able to do music for a certain amount of time anyway, which is going to lose some of their momentum. um Three, are they going to be able to take the NewJeans IP with them? Probably not. Like HYBE is probably going to keep that and all their music, so they're going to have to like re-debut under a different name, with like from scratch with a new discography. Uh, so yeah, and if they terminate their contracts themselves, they're gonna have to pay back an awful lot of money. Um, so it's not good. So yeah, Japanese songs are always like, which is why I've like kind of skipped over some of it. I know that like with Twice, I've skipped over a couple of their Japanese releases, like going chronologically. Some of their like newer stuff that they've done in like the last couple of years, I've also skipped over because I'm like, ooh, Japanese releases. And then Misamo, which I haven't gotten to in a while. Even though people have been asking me, I'm like, I want to check it out, but I don't know if it's gonna end up on the channel. Um, because Japanese. Hey, another Patreon. Hi. Yes, I dropped album reaction today on Patreon. Oh, you got to see them. That's so good though. I'm jealous. Yeah, Xian has been, I mean, I haven't seen any of her singing. I think I saw like a couple, maybe like a couple clips. Um, but she looks great. I just hope that she's doing amazing. Like I hope that she took all the time she needed and that she's fully ready to be back, and like performing and stuff, cuz I just worry, you know. I worry that like she wants to come back, especially with like a comeback happening, like tours, that she feels like she has to like be there for that, and I'm just like, I want to make sure you take your time. Yeah, see, I with the reacting to like Bleach MVs and having no problem, and the other people, it is. I had some of that when I was doing the OST, which I like stopped doing because I was having issues with them. Like some of the OST, it was fine for me to post to YouTube, and some of it wasn't. And that was just like background tracks to it. So I don't know. What's my favorite Twice song now? I mean, that's asking too much of me. That's asking me to like contemplate so many things. I don't know. But I am gonna have to leave soon. I've been here like an hour. So, last questions. Ask them now. Um, what do you prefer, live action or a remake of Bleach? Remake, animated. Cause live actions are usually bad, but it can kind of fluctuate. I feel like a remake with the new animation style is definitely going to be good. Aw, thank you, Johnny. For saying you like my content. If I was going to Canada, would I go? I mean, they went to Montreal last year, and I couldn't go because I had other stuff going on. So that entirely depends on how my life is. Yarn hanger? What yarn hanger? Yes, it does look like we're getting a remake. Which I had someone get mad at me about. I made a short about it a while ago, like back when it was first like being announced that like they were thinking about doing a remake of Bleach. And someone recently, it was like months ago, right? And someone recently commented being like, "You don't even know about like all these things." And I'm like, I literally talked about those things in my video. I was like, I literally was like, hey, I don't think it needs a remake. However, it would be nice if we got these things fixed. And you just like glossed over that. Sewing projects? Things in the background. I mean, I don't think I have any sewing projects. Is it my like hanger on the back of my door with all of my like fiber arts stuff? Because that's still there. It's just not in the background of my videos anymore. I hope it's a full remake, but I'll accept if they just are remaking the major fights too. Yeah, I think it depends on what we're getting, right? Like, didn't they do some of that with Naruto? For like an anniversary, they like reanimated some of the like major fights, um, which apparently was very cool for the people who like Naruto. So I guess I would take that, but I also like I don't know. I think the show is good. Like I think the animation, like yeah, there's filler arcs. Yeah, there's weird pacing in it because it was trying to not catch up with the manga. I get that. But in terms of like what was adapted from the manga, like it's good. It's accurate. It's not like it's a show that completely deviated from it, right? Like as much as I like Fullmetal Alchemist 03, I get why there was a remake. Of course there was a remake. It didn't follow the manga. So I can understand why that happened. Whereas like Bleach is the manga story. There's just like other stuff in filler arcs around it, but like skip over them. Any book recommendations for spooky season other than Dracula? Um, ooh, as I'm getting a text message. um, I like mysteries. So if you want something that's like a mystery with like a haunting-ish vibe to it, The Darkling Bride, super good. If you want something more psychological horror, I have to go A Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Legitimately a really good book. It's short. It's very like in my head. Like it's one of those books where like I had to like turn on all the lights when I was reading part of it. Okay. Last couple of questions. I'm gonna leave in like a minute because my mom is messaging me, so I have to go. Would I move to Japan if I got a job there? Probably not. I got offered a job in South Korea and I didn't go. So I probably wouldn't. Um it just seems like a lot. So Kubo is also sad about all the censorship too. Yeah, like I feel like yeah, you could make it more true to the manga. I get that. But it's not like completely deviating from it, which I think people talk about it like that. People talk about like the first animation as if it like completely deviates from the source material. I'm like, no, it doesn't. At least not from what I've read so far, not from what people have told me. Um, so it's not like it's not like this huge thing, right? But I remember also that commenter was like, oh well like Hunter x Hunter got a remake, but like Bleach isn't old enough. And I'm like, I never said that I was okay with the Hunter x Hunter remake. You brought that up. You have no idea how I feel about that. All right. I'm gonna have to go though. I'm gonna have to message my mom and also make some dinner. But it's been fun to just chat about things, and some of them fun, some of them less fun because there's stuff going on. But like I said at the beginning of stream, if you weren't here, take care of yourself, you know? Don't get sick, because it's a season for that. I also get that getting into the darker seasons, people also have some issues, so take care of yourself, find the things that make you happy, and you know, it's okay to just do the basics and take care of yourself. You don't have to be perfect every single day. Just, you know, find those few things that are gonna make you stable and stick to those, and, you know, have some fun. You know, I feel like it gets so stressful at the end of the year and people try to do so much. So just like always make sure that you're having some fun with it as well. So, and we'll see you guys soon in more videos. Videos going up tomorrow, so you'll see that one. Bye bye.